Hi Leo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your December 6th to the 16th, 2021 money and career reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Leo, December 6th to the 16th, 2021 Leo. Money and career, angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. At our root, we have strength, which is Leo energy, which is us coming through at our root, and that's very exciting. Then we have the Fool, which is we're going on a new journey. It's taking strength, it's taking determination. It is also taking focus. It moves us to the Knight of Pentacles, slowly and steadily, patiently building up our prosperity and our success. Then we have the Strength card again, us coming through, embracing courage, embracing determination, embracing focus. Then we have the Page of Pentacles. In our hearts, we are a student of our prosperity. Again, that's Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We have the Four of Pentacles, excuse me, which is vampiric energy. It's a sense of I have to hold on, and it's because of the Ten of Swords. It's because of the chaos that we have been through within our lives. It's because of the hardships and the disappointments that we have seen. There's something here that's coming forward. This is the darkness before the dawn, and we're going to be realizing it, that there's some sort of blockage within us around money, around prosperity, around the way that we get to embrace success. Then we have the public arena. We have the Queen of Cups and the Two of Cups. We're just going to be a lot more emotionally minded during this time. So we also have to be a little bit mindful that we can be super, super generous during this time, and yet we're going to have not some issues, but there's going to be something about money coming in that we're going to be holding on to it really tight. And then on the other side of the coin, we're going to be super generous and super giving. So we just have to be mindful of that. It's going to be something that builds a little bit of a dichotomy and a little bit of a frustration. And of course, it is the holiday season, so this generosity absolutely comes through quite powerfully. And we also are building up our prosperity. So if we can work through this energy of blockage, of not letting the energy within our lives flow through us and still feeling trapped and overwhelmed, then this is going to have a hard time. The prosperity within our lives is going to have a bit of a hard time manifesting and developing the way that we want it to. So just being aware of that is going to be really quite powerful. The Queen of Cups is water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. So if we have water sign energy within our lives, if we have them within our natal chart, it's coming through very powerfully in the public arena, and they're going to hit us much more powerfully in a public way. This part of our personality is going to come out when we're interacting with people, when we're living in the day-to-day world, in our inner selves. Earth sign energy, again, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, if that's within our natal chart or within our lives, they're going to affect us inwardly and also emotionally. So being aware of that is also going to be very important. Now let's look at the energy we need to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Now, this is the King of Pentacles. We can be very, very focused on money, on wealth, on prosperity, on what we need, what we desire, but also on what people think of as successful, what people think of as prosperous. And we can start to change what we want because we're going to say, oh, well, this makes more money, or, oh, well, this is the way of success. And, oh, this person is successful, so I should be listening to them instead of listening to my own inner voice. And what we have to remember here is that everybody is successful in a different way. If we were that person, that success would work for us. But we're not that person. We're our own person. So we're going to have to just be open and honest with what's right for us, what isn't right for us, where our personalities mesh with certain people and where they don't. We are just going to be very inspired by people who have made a lot of money, who are very good at seeing the interconnectedness of things. They're actually going to be a little bit colder than us during this time, just a little bit more practical and pragmatic. And, it's kind of like, well, if the dog needs the operation and the operation costs that much money, you get rid of the dog type of thing. And during this time, we're not going to be able to. So this is something that's very important for us, that we cannot put another person's sensibilities or way of seeing things on us, because it's just not going to work. And that was a very sad example, but it's one that just immediately popped in my head that I've definitely heard from people. So just be mindful about that. It moves us to our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. It's Mother Earth. It's the Earth Star Chakra located 6 inches below our feet. We are grounded. We are connected. This is going to be a time where we're needing to embrace our connection with the Earth, our way of building our prosperity and our abundance, what we need, what we desire within our lives. And it moves us to our strength, to our determination of self, and to our focus of who we are and where it is that we want to be. There's a storm that we're going to be facing. Now, it can be from others, it can be internally. There's just something that's coming up that's making us doubting, that's making us feel like, okay, do I have to fight this? Do I step back from this? How do I handle this chaos that is within me, this insight that I need to see, this understanding that I need to have? And what we're going to see here is that strength is not always running right at the thing and saying, okay, I'm going to destroy it. It's stepping back. It's stepping back and embracing emotionally what we need, embracing, personally what we desire, and coming to the strength of the heart, a strength of compassion, a strength of love, a strength of understanding. And it leads us to the Fool. It leads us to embracing a new path forward. It leads us to seeing things more openly and more honestly than we have before. It also has us looking at the path that we want to take in a way that is more open and honest for us, and not necessarily based on everybody else's decisions, what everybody else wants. This is going to be a time, Leo, where we're saying, okay, what do I need? How do I need to move forward for me? What is it that I desire? What is it that I want within my life? What is it that I'm looking forward to or looking towards or, discovering? And so the Fool comes in, and we're going to be afraid of being that fool, of people looking at us and being like, oh my gosh, you're so foolish, or, oh, you just don't understand. And what's going to happen here is that we're going to step into the power of ourselves and say, every single hero, every single person who lives their truth, who moves forward in their wisdom, in their discovery, or who goes against the beat of the norm is a fool, is a person who isn't understood until people can start to quantify their success. And maybe people will not be able to quantify our success for quite some time, or if at all. Maybe the success that we want is definitely not the same as the success of others. And so this is going to be a time where we need to say, I need to walk that path. I need to start believing in me and seeing my dreams come forward. Not saying that we're not going to be successful. We're building that success most definitely. But it's also being very open and very honest with ourselves that what other people look at during this time is not necessarily going to be the way that we see things. And we're going to need to trust ourselves more than we trust random strangers. And it moves us to the Knight of Pentacles. It moves us to the patience of slowly and steadily building and discovering what it is that we want, what it is that we need, and where it is that we're headed within our lives. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight. So we're going to get a bit frustrated with it because we're the second fastest moving knight within the tarot. And so here, the patience is running a little bit thin, but it's saying, okay, how am I gardening these seeds? How am I building what I desire? What is it that I need? Because we're calling on the strength of ourselves through, again, our compassion and our kindness to be courageous, to be able to have that relationship where we're looking into the leper's mouth without, being afraid of being eaten alive. So this is going to be a time for us where we're setting down really intense roots for our success, for our bounty. This could be a time of investments, but this is also a time of saying, where do I want to put my money? How do I want to move things forward? It can also be a time where we're looking at things and saying, okay, I'm not making what I need to make here, or I'm not living my dream this way, or I need to start a side project because the money needs to come in. I need to pay my bills. Food needs to be put on the table, but I also need to have a creative outlet. I need to have joy within my life. I need to have that excitement, that beauty coming forward again. And that's where it's taking our strength to be the student of our prosperity, to be a student of our bounty, and say, okay, it doesn't matter if everybody else doesn't understand. It matters that I am stepping into me more and more. It matters that I am looking at things in a very different way, in a very open way, in a very honest way for myself. 'Tis the season during this time, and we can get caught up in giving to everybody else. But this is a time when we also need to give to ourselves. And this is also a time that's a bit more challenging than maybe other holiday seasons have been for us. And so we're starting to see what's really important and what isn't, how we need to move forward and how we don't, what it is that we desire and what it is that we don't want from our lives anymore. It brings us to the Four of Pentacles. It brings us to this place where we're looking at that vampiric energy around our prosperity, around our own self-sabotaging, around the negativity that has been planted in us by others, by parents, by guardians, by lovers, by siblings, by friends, by coworkers, that make us think we can't. The offhanded comment that says we're not successful. Now, I always use this as an example, but when I was working in this shop, I had a new manager come in, and she said to me, you're so educated, you're so this, you're so that. And she was like, I didn't do any of that. I didn't waste my money on that. She goes, and look, you're working for me. And it was so humiliating at that time. It really was. I knew I wasn't where I wanted to be. I knew I wasn't living the life I wanted to live. And yet I also knew that I needed to put food on the table and I needed to keep the lights on. And her comment, though a person I will never see again in my life, and I'm very glad is out of my life, had a wounding effect. This is going to be a time where we can have those wounding effects, those offhanded comments made by people just to be cruel and mean and spiteful and hurtful, pushing us down in a way that we don't need in our lives, in a way that's reinforcing our own insecurities, our own fears, that is playing within our own heads. That's what the Four of Pentacles is. It's not letting the energy flow through us. It's saying, I have to hold on to what I have, because if I don't, everything's going to fall apart. If I don't, I'm never going to have enough to get to the place that I want to be. And it moves us to the Ten of Swords. It moves us to the darkness before the dawn. And that can be the realization moment. That's like the light bulb moment where all of a sudden things are illuminated in a way that they weren't illuminated before. And it's that spitfire, I'm going to achieve, I'm going to succeed, to spite you and to spite everybody else. Because I'm breaking down the doors, I'm breaking down the barriers in my own life. The Ten of Swords is the darkness before the dawn. It is every single scar that we have had over 10 years. Every single hurt and pain and disappointment, every single stab in the back, every single betrayal that has made us who we are. And we're taking that knowledge now, not as people who have been defeated, but as people who are going through this resurrection and who are focusing on where they want to be, how they want to develop, and what it is that they really desire within their lives. And every single scar now becomes a weapon in our arsenal, and a priceless weapon at that. it moves us to the Queen of Cups. It moves us to really being connected with our emotions, to what we're teaching, to what we're learning. It's that inner child within us watching the adult that we are and having that connection with the growth and the expansion and the understanding of what we want and how we're moving forward. It's a sense of falling in love with our lives, falling in love with ourselves, moving forward with our heart, saying, I need to be emotionally tapped in. I need to be connected in a very powerful, very beautiful way. Because if I am, that's the game changer here. And as I am, that's the game changer here. And so we open up our hearts. We start to see things as the nurturer, as the carer, not as I have to sacrifice myself to nurture and care for everybody, but in this way that says, I'm opening up my heart to nurture and to care and to let that energy out into the world, because that's what we need more of. You know, that seriously is what we need more of, what we need to develop, how we need to move ourselves forward to really let our hearts shine. And it brings us to the Two of Cups. It brings us to healing beautiful love. It brings us to unity. It brings us to the Minor Arcana Lovers card. It has us looking at a whole new way forward, and it has us feeling more connected within our own world than we have for a very long time. It brings us to our subconscious energy that we need to be mindful of, which is justice. This is seeing things too black and white. White page, black print. This is how it has to be. These are the rules, and there is no exception to it. Justice is also telling us, be discerning, be just to ourselves. Let ourselves be kind to us. Let ourselves look and see what we desire and what we need. And let the scales be balanced. Not in one favor or another, but just balanced within our lives. Meaning that we give time to what matters and to what's important to us. We're cutting away so much of the detritus that has been, snaking itself around ourselves, keeping us from the joy that we need and from the beauty that we want. And it brings us to our subconscious chakra energy, which is holistic health, one of my absolute favorite chakra cards. This is the root chakra. At our root is a holistic being. At our root is the very essence of who we are and what we want from our lives. This is taking care of ourselves through the food that we put into our bodies, but this is also taking care of ourselves by listening to our souls, by listening to what we are longing for, what we truly need, how we're developing, how we're opening up the doors for us to walk through, how we're not saying, oh no, that's close to you because you don't get to have this. We're opening up our world to us and saying it's infinite, the possibilities and the beauty that I can embrace. We're also starting to see what makes us feel good. What brings the joy back into our lives, what brings the beauty back into our souls, what has us moving forward in a positive, caring, compassionate way to us, taking care of us as well as the world around us. It brings us to our subconscious rooted energy, and that's the Emperor. This is Aries energy. It's fire and determination, which we're very good at because, of course, we are Leo energy, fire sign energy. We have ourselves coming through twice, so we're really on point with who we are and what we want. The Aries energy comes forward and says, claim the throne, claim the power, be determined, be focused, look at things, and lead the way. It brings us to our subconscious inner self, and it's the Three of Swords. It's the heartbreak and the pain and the disappointment. It's the scars that don't heal. Because we need to address them, we need to name them, we need to see them, and we need to pull them out of our bodies and say no more. No more am I being defined as this pain, this hurt, this devastation, this setback, this embarrassment within my life, this mistake that I have made, or that was made to me. We're looking at the pain and saying, you don't get to define me anymore. Because it's keeping us from our prosperity. It really is. And it moves us to our subconscious emotional self. And it's the King of Pentacles. Now we have the Knight, the Page, the King. We have this development. The Page goes to the Knight, becomes the King. We have this development of our own wealth. We're sitting on our throne. We're claiming our prosperity. We're looking at our wisdom. We're looking at our determination. A lot of knowledge is going to come from our dreams, from that connection with spirit. And we're embracing what we want, where we need to be, and what's truly important to us. It brings us just a sense of being able to see the interconnectedness of things. Yes, we do have to be mindful of people who can only see things in monetary value. And we also have to be mindful if we start to only see things in a monetary value. The world is so much more than money. And yet, so often it feels like it's only money. It's only that battle to be able to succeed, to be able to have more, to be able to be at least stable and secure and not have to worry. It moves us to our subconscious inner self. public arena, there we go, self. And why it comes through as the heart so much is because it's the King of Cups, it's the Queen of Cups. This is a time of love. This is a soulmate connection, a true love connection. Actually, the inner world seems a lot more private now than it usually ever does. And we're going to see ourselves connecting with our hearts, connecting with what we love. Again, this soulmate connection, true love connection, is our hearts really moving forward in love, in celebration, in beauty, and in just connection to what we get to have and what we get to really admire and cherish within our lives and for ourselves. Again, this is water sign energy. This could be falling in love. This is also being able to see the beauty within our own existence instead of that gray miasma that just kind of, wraps itself around us and says there is no joy here. One day is like the other, and it becomes this boring, monotonous, struggle for forward that just ends in exhaustion. This is beauty and love and connection, and that's going to be really powerful for us. All right, Leo, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the intensity of this time. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Leo.